Ever wondered about the divine identity of Yahweh and how it contrasts with the interpretation of Dr. Francesca Stavrocopolu? Today, we'll be exploring the rich tapestry of historical, archaeological, and theological perspectives that shape our understanding of Yahweh. We'll be countering Dr. Stavrocopolu's interpretation with insights drawn from biblical and early Christian perspectives. From ancient texts to the early church fathers, we'll traverse the intriguing landscape of divine identity. So buckle up and join us as we delve into this fascinating topic. Dr. Stavrocopolu's claims are largely based on ancient manuscripts and archaeological evidence. These include texts that predate the Bible and depict Yahweh as part of a pantheon of deities in ancient Near Eastern cultures. But the interpretation of these texts is anything but straightforward. The Bible itself acknowledges that before the revelation to Moses, people had a limited understanding of God. This doesn't necessarily suggest Yahweh was just one among many gods. Instead, it could reflect people's limited understanding before God fully revealed himself. So, when we talk about Yahweh in ancient texts, we need to be mindful of this context. It's not about a deity evolving, but rather, it's about humanity's evolving understanding of the divine. But could it be that Yahweh was evolving, or was it humanity's understanding that was evolving? The concept of evolution applied to Yahweh might be misleading. So let's dive into this. From a biblical perspective, God doesn't evolve because he is eternal and unchanging. This is affirmed in scriptures like Malachi 3:6 and James 1:17. Instead of God evolving, it could be more accurate to say that our understanding and knowledge about him have evolved over time. This development in understanding is visible within the Bible itself. We see a progression from the partial knowledge in Genesis to the full revelation in Jesus Christ, as stated in the book of Hebrews. This concept of progressive revelation aligns with the teachings of early church fathers. So it's not so much about the evolution of Yahweh, but rather the evolution of humanity's comprehension of Yahweh. This perspective provides a more nuanced interpretation of the historical and archaeological data. This development can be seen throughout the Bible itself. The early church fathers maintained the consistency of God's revelation throughout history. Figures like Justin Martyr and Irenaeus, pillars of early Christian thought, championed this idea. They proposed the concept of logos spermatikos, the seeds of truth present in all cultures even before Christ. This doesn't mean that they believed in the existence of multiple gods, but rather that there were glimpses of the divine truth scattered across various cultures, awaiting full revelation. They saw the Bible not as a record of God's evolution, but as a testament of our growing understanding of him. From the partial knowledge in Genesis, through the laws given to Moses, to the full revelation in Jesus Christ, we see a progressive unveiling of God's nature, not a changing God. This perspective of the early church fathers could provide a framework to understand why other cultures had an inkling of Yahweh. The Christian scriptures are among the most reliable ancient texts we possess today. They stand as a testament to the enduring nature of the divine message they carry. The sheer number of manuscripts, their early dating, and the remarkable consistency between them all underscore the historical reliability of these texts. F. Bruce, a noted biblical scholar, once eloquently acknowledged this by stating that no other body of ancient literature enjoys such an abundance of good textual attestation as the New Testament. In these scriptures, the testimony about Yahweh is unwavering. His unique status as the one true God is affirmed time and again, from the Shema of Deuteronomy, which proclaims, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one," to the bold declarations of the prophet Isaiah saying, "I am the Lord, and there is no other. Apart from me, there is no God." This belief set the Israelites apart from their polytheistic neighbors and forms the basis for Christian monotheism. While Dr. Stavrocopolu's work contributes significantly to understanding the context of ancient Near Eastern religions, her portrayal of Yahweh's evolution warrants a nuanced interpretation. It's crucial to supplement her archaeological findings with theological insights from the Bible and early Christian thought. This paints a different picture. Instead of envisioning a tribal deity evolving into the one God of monotheism, it's perhaps more accurate and indeed profoundly fascinating to speak about humanity's growing comprehension of the one true God.